you'll see a list here of all the API services you need to enable in order to make your Maps experience functional across your application. Hello, my name is Lachlan Kirkwood, and today I'm going to be walking you through the step-by-step instructions to configure your own Google Maps API keys within your Bubble editor. This one is essential for anyone building an application that displays a map or pulls data from a geographic address. Let's just open up a Bubble editor that I have and jump right into the process. So over in our Bubble editor, the first thing you might notice is that by default you'll have an issue itself within your application. And this issue just points out that you need to configure your own Google Maps keys in order to pull any geographic place data. And now if we were to select this issue, it's going to open up our settings tab and automatically open the general settings view here. And so I'm just going to choose to close our error message there, because if we scroll right on down below our application favicon, you'll see two empty input fields here which are dedicated to our Google Maps keys. And by all means, Bubble actually includes a link to some written documentation where they walk you through all of the steps to set up and configure your own Google Maps API keys. And if you were to click that link, it's just going to open up this external doc here. But if you're anything like me, I much prefer to follow along video tutorials. I just think it's much easier to follow everything in as much detail as possible. And it also just allows you to pause and rewind to watch anything you don't quite understand. But one thing I will just point out is that within this document here, it has a link that will send you through to a Google Developers Console. And this is where you can set up your own Google Maps API keys. I'll be sure to include a link to this in the description of the video as well. So that way it'll just save you having to go through this doc. But essentially, once you create a free Google developer account, it's going to take you to a view that looks much like this. And the first thing you'll need to do within your Google developer account is create a new project for your Bubble application. Now, I have an existing project here from a previous tutorial I've recorded, but I'm going to take the time to explain how you can create a new project. So from our project drop-down menu here, we're just going to open that up. And you'll see a pop-up here display with all of my previous projects. And what you'll need to do is just choose to create a new project, and then you'll just need to give it a name there. So I'm going to call mine Maps API Tutorial in this case. Yours will most likely be the actual name of your application itself. I'm going to choose to create this project. And now once we've created our project, I'm going to need to open this within my drop-down menu. If you only have one project, it's probably open that by default, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. And from here, once we've created our project, what you'll see within the Bubble editor itself is that you'll need to create two separate API keys, one for the Google Geocode API and one for the Google Maps API. And so we'll just jump back into our developer console and actually create those. So if we head over to the Credentials tab on the left-hand menu here, it's going to display a list of all of our API keys we have within this particular project. And of course, by this point, we don't have any credentials stored. So we're going to need to create two API keys. So I'm going to select the Create option and choose to create an API key. And then I'm just going to close our first API key, and it will be displayed under our API keys menu here. And then I'm going to choose to create another API key, which we'll be updating in a moment. I'll choose to close that menu. And now that both of these have been added, before we can paste these into our Bubble application, we're just going to need to configure a few particular settings. And the first is that we're going to need to update the names of these API keys. And so if you were to read through the Bubble documentation, which I'll save you the time of doing, it just mentions that you need to create two API keys, one called a client and one called a server. And so that's what we're going to be doing for these API keys. We're going to be giving them two separate names just so we can differentiate between the two. So if I was to head to my API key number one here, I'm going to choose to edit the API key itself. And I'm going to update the name of this to be called client. And now while I'm here, I'm just going to need to add one particular restriction to this API. And that is under the application restrictions, I'm going to want to restrict this API access to the HTTP referrers option. And what this essentially means is that you can just restrict which particular websites have access to your API key. And in this case, you'll only want your own application to be able to fetch data from your Google Maps APIs. And so if we scroll on down, we're just going to need to add in which particular website we would like to restrict this access to. And so for our website restrictions, we're going to add an item. And the website URL we'll be adding in is the URL of our Bubble application. So if we head on over to our Bubble editor, in order to fetch that URL, we can just choose to preview any page of our application. And then we'll just need to grab the URL string here. I'm going to copy that and then paste that within this box here. And now one thing I'd just like to point out is that I've sent through the value of the index page within our application. And if I was to leave the current URL string as it is within this field here, it's going to only allow our API keys to be functional on this specific page. So that is our version test index page where our debugger is activated. But what would happen if, let's say, I was to visit a user's profile page or a search results page and I'd like to display some maps on that? It currently wouldn't have access because we only have access to our APIs through our index page. And so a way we can create a workaround for that is by heading to the name of our application, followed by the .bubbleapps.io. And then after the slash, I'm just going to highlight every other character beyond that. And I'm going to choose to delete those. And then what I'm going to do is add in an asterisk. And what that's essentially going to do is just allow our maps to run on any single page that starts with this URL string. So regardless of what page a user visits in our application, our maps is now going to be functional across every single page. And now one critical thing I'd just like to point out is that if you were to eventually publish your application on a custom domain, this restriction would no longer be relevant. So you just need to update the URL here to be your custom domain. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is actually just copy this new domain here. I'm then going to select the done option. And then I'm going to scroll on down and choose to save this API key. And now that's going to redirect me back to our API page, in which case I would just like to make some changes to our second API key. So I'm going to choose to edit this. And then I'm going to start by updating the name of this API key to be called server. I'm then going to select the same HTTP referrers restriction. And then under the website restrictions, I'm going to add an item and paste in that URL that I had previously copied. I'll select done, and that's all I'll need to do. I'm going to save this API key. And now these API keys are ready to copy across into our Bubble application. But before we can actually make these API keys functional, we just need to activate a certain number of services on Google's behalf. And so if I was to once again just jump back into the documentation that Bubble has created here, and if I just scroll on up, you'll see a list here of all the API services you need to enable in order to make your Maps experience functional across your application. And enabling these services is actually pretty straightforward. We'll just need to jump over to our developer console, and within our search bar at the top here, we'll just type in the name of each service we'd like to activate. So I'm going to start by typing in geocode. And then from here, I'm going to select from our geocoding API key, making sure I'm choosing the API option. I'll open this up, and then I'll just need to enable this service. And then once that's enabled, it's going to redirect me through to our APIs dashboard. And from here, I'm just going to need to then enable my next API, which is the Places API. So I'm going to type in the word Places. Scroll on down to the Places API option, select that. I will then choose to enable this API. It's going to then redirect me through to my API dashboard, and you can now see I have both services there enabled. And then from here, the next API service I'd like to enable is the geolocation option. So I'm going to type in the word geolocation in our search box, choose the API option, then I will need to enable that. And then after enabling that service, I'm just going to need to add 2 more APIs. And the first is the Maps JavaScript option. So I'm just going to type in the word JavaScript. Scrolling down to the Maps JavaScript API option. I will open this. And then I, of course, will enable that service. And then once that's enabled, there's one very last API service I will need to activate. And that is the time zone API. See, I've just got a small typo there. And if I scroll on down, I'll see the option for the time zone API. I will open this and I will just enable that service. And that is the very last API service I will need to activate. And from here, we are pretty much good to go. And so in order to find my API keys to add those into my bubble editor, I'm just going to head over to the credentials option within my project here. And now I can start to copy and paste the relevant API keys over into the fields within my bubble editor. So I'm going to start with my server key. I'm going to choose to copy that. And we'll be pasting our server key into the geocode box, which is the first field here. I'll paste that in. And then I'll just need to copy across my client API key, and I'll be pasting that into my Google Maps API key field. And you'll now see that that error has been removed from our bubble application. And from here, our Maps experience should be good to go. The only thing I will point out is that if you still find for some reason your Maps experience is not working, 99% of the time it's because you haven't added your billing details into your Google developer account. So in order for all of these services to be functional, you'll just need to head to your settings page in your Google developer account here, and you'll just need to add a credit card on file, because none of these services will work unless Google has a way to charge you if you reach their rate limits. And by all means, Google Maps is quite generous in terms of how many requests you can make. It's only when you start reaching thousands of requests that you'll actually be charged. So while you're building your bubble application and just testing it with a small group of users, it's pretty safe to say that you won't actually be charged on that credit card. And just like that, that's exactly how you can configure your own Google Maps API keys within Bubble. As you can see, there were just a few little specific details involved, but there wasn't anything overly complex throughout this process. If you'd like to catch any of my other Bubble tutorials, I'd recommend hitting the subscribe button below so you can stay in touch with any other tutorials and content that I release on my channel. Until next time, I wish you all the best on your own no-code journey.